Konnichiwa. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tvishe Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gora Tvishe Namaha Panchatatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Krishna. Chintamani Prakarasadma Sukalpa Briksha Lakshavite Susudabira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Prusha Tamaham Bhajami Venam Kavantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Visesa Sobat Govinda Madhipurusha Tamaham Bhajami. All right. So I missed the temple celebration of the 10th anniversary of Radha Govinda in Tokyo due to being in a different time zone. And it would have been like 1 o'clock in the morning or something. Very difficult for me to function after a long day of Harinam and everything, and not being like Srila Prabhupada and don't need sleep. I would, there's so many devotees to thank for this project happening, which goes way back to, Mahatma and Tapaswini and Gita and Kirtanishwara and so many who joined in the early days and translated books, distributed books, kept the temple going, did Harinam until the demographics of Tokyo changed and there were many, many Indians coming. So as far as this particular temple, it comes in a long line of all those devotees and working, tirelessly actually. And Nitai Prabhu, on and on. Some of them are still with us, some of them are gone. Keshavi is in Mayapur, and she's still very active teaching the devotees. And we had especially Kadamba Dasi, who's in America somewhere. Maguna and Sachadev were, got it started before I ever came in very difficult times and maintained it. So then, as far as the Radha Govinda, this basically was Shrikant's project to start with, and he engaged a lot of devotees, a lot of friends, and a new Prabhu. So they managed to get the building and get the deities, and not an easy task. And then running the temple, so many devotees trying to help, even though we were spread out. And the Japanese devotees were struggling for existence, but everybody's struggling for existence. And I have to, thank Ananta Gauranga Prabhu. He was made temple president at a very difficult time. At the time, it didn't seem so difficult. But having had no experience dealing with temples or devotees, it wasn't an easy job. And he didn't get any training, but he managed to stick it out, but then had to go through some really traumatic times on the tsunami. And then many of the regular donors left Japan, went back to India. So the planned income of the temple went way down. So it was very hard to maintain. And we had, devotees of many different types of personalities who also had no experience working together in the temple atmosphere. They could work together in their jobs with the people they have to work with, but we have problems. A spiritual society is completely different. So he took that very difficult job and managed to keep things going throughout many, many problems, which we don't need to go into, but we have to thank him very much for that. And we hope that, we've learned something and we can carry on much more. Krishna's been sending Japanese and Indian. Many Japanese are becoming very serious, chanting japa, following principles, distributing books. Indians also. So we don't want to think of Indians just as donors. That's been a mistake in many parts of the world. They're also spirit souls, and they're natural devotees. Everybody's covered over. The soul is covered over by the modes of nature. Prabhupada said that in Indian, the covering is very thin. It may look like something very difficult, but it's a thin candy-coated shell, which will melt very easily with good association. Other people from other countries, the covering to reach down to the roots of, Krishna Bhakti may be very thick, take much more time to cultivate. But the purpose of the temple is to cultivate devotion, to give bhakti, to attract people somehow or other and give them bhakti when they come, teach them. And we can do that. Everybody should be doing that to their capacity, either at the temple or online or going to someone's home, bringing people to your home is a very good way to cultivate people, because everyone is comfortable in the house or in their own house. In Iskcon, we made a lot of mistakes. We go to someone's house and we bring 10 or 15 devotees and overwhelm them. No, 1 or 2 devotees go to somebody's house in the beginning, just with, one family or maybe their one friends. And we have kirtan and we have Bhagavad Gita class. We read and we take some prasad. Very simple. So this is what, Govinda wants. This is what Jagannath wants. So we want everybody to learn, what is human life for? It's for pleasing Krishna. Without pleasing Krishna, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to, ever be happy. This is, the basic repeated statement of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Samsiddhi Hari Toshanam. Trying to please, we get all perfection by trying to please Krishna, Supreme Lord. Krishna is present everywhere. He's in everyone's heart. So we want to approach people and teach them that Krishna is in their heart and how to connect with Krishna. Read the Bhagavad Gita, chant the holy name. The beginning is just simply chant the holy name. That's the easiest thing to do. Anyone can do that. And realize ourselves that Krishna's in everyone's heart, and he's in my heart also. And he wants, more and more people to know about him. And that's why when we tell people about Krishna, whether it's another devotee or a new guest, or and Prabhupada said, if there's no one else to preach to, then preach to yourself. Remember, devotees, well, how can you preach to yourself? You just preach to yourself. We're always talking to ourselves anyway, but usually about, I want this, I want that. No, talk to yourself about Krishna. Read the Bhagavad Gita out loud, So, and ask questions. So in chapter 2, the sages said, Munaya sadhu prishtoham, Bhavadvir loka mangalam, yat kritam, Krishna samprasno, yenatma suprasidati. I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna, and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. So we just have to, ask about Krishna. We all, I think every devotee experiences it. If someone comes to the temple and they ask him, well, what is the Bhagavad Gita about, or who is Krishna? And we become very happy. And then we had a chance to talk about Krishna, who is Prabhupada, And when we ask someone else, that another devotee, Krishna becomes very happy. They become very happy. So then, Savoy Pumsam Parodharmo Yata Bhaktir Adhoksaje Ahoy Tukya Pratiyata Yayatma Suprasidati. The supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service under the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. That means not maturely motivated. We're not trying to get money or fame or a higher position in the hierarchy of the temple or the management. No, just trying to serve Krishna. Everyone should be happy serving Krishna. And Krishna doesn't see, he sees the service attitude. That's what he's looking for. Who's trying to please Krishna? Who's trying to please their guru? Whether you're cooking, to think this is for Krishna. If you're making flower garlands, it's a very good service making flower garlands, because you have to think about Krishna's body and how big it should be. And, you have to meditate on the form of the Lord. Making clothes for the deity, you have to intensely meditate on the form of the Lord, so the clothes are going to fit, right? And here's another favorite verse of mine. Dharma sanustita punsan vishvasena katasaya not padayad yadritim shrama eva ikevalam. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. That is Varnashram. The essence of Varnashram is that everything gets directed towards Krishna. Everyone's activities somehow end up going towards Krishna. It's not labeling everybody Sudra or a man or a woman or a Vaishya or a Brahmin. No, that's the body. But the real point of Varnashram is everybody's work is somehow leading them to want to be led to Krishna. So that's very simple. And we have Radha Govinda. So again, I'm on the video, so I don't know if anybody's ever going to hear this, and we're going to get it translated. But I have had a lot of ups and downs and trying to spread Krishna consciousness in Japan. We had a very fast start, and then we had a lot of, well, first was external challenges from the Shoko thing, and everybody thinking we're a cult, and the devotees getting bewildered, and nobody joining a cult. And seems like we've recovered from that now. And the whole economy's changed. People are not so generous like they used to be. But there's a lot of people more interested than they used to be. And we want to not only give books, but find ways to have programs where these people can come and participate. So these are a series of verses. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for human liberation, 129. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain. All right, so I think I'll leave it there. I don't want to burden everybody with a long talk. What I hope to see is more and more kirtan melas at the temple and at other venues also. I'm seeing a lot of little Harinam parties going out. I hope we can fix them up a little more with a nice sign with the Maha Mantra, so everybody can see and know what we're chanting. We've had those in the past, but now the parties are usually very small and we don't have anyone to carry all the extra stuff. But like when you're at the Food for Life, you can just set it on the fence there and point everybody to it. And so all these things are just Lord Chaitanya's activities. We're still in Lord Chaitanya's movement. He's going to temple, he's worshiping deities, he's chanting the holy name, he's reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and he's dancing, taking prasad, and serving prasad. This is our life. So occupation duties are meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Most people are working hard in pursuance of some ideal, some goal, but it's a material goal. And when they get there, they just want more. Like if you're trying to get to the top, so-called, of your field, you can become the champion, but very soon someone else will beat you. And everybody will be trying to beat you. You can be a hero for a short time. But for Krishna, there's no top. It just keeps going, and it gets nicer and better. The more one keeps following the process. And the path to Goloka in the beginning is very rough because Krishna is checking us out. Do you really want to go there? But at a certain point, it becomes automatic. Krishna comes to you. So according to sages, one who is engaged in ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. That's what everybody's doing. People are working really hard. They're not lazy. They're not sleeping, a lot of people, but simply for sense gratification, whatever kind of sense gratification is appealing to them. Animals also. Sense gratification means eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So Maya is always offering us new ways to do all that. Okay, so no one's here, so I'm going to send this link to somebody in Japan, and then maybe somebody can translate. And we hope everybody will, continue like you're doing with the enthusiasm. A new devotee, by Krishna's mercy, we can just stay more and more enthusiastic, more and more realizing I'm new, I have a lot to learn. I just have to serve in order to love Krishna, and just keep chanting the holy name and keep associating with devotees. Serve the devotees, you're serving Krishna. Okay. Shri Radha Govinda ki jai. Shrikant Prabhu ki jai. Ananta Gauranga Prabhu and his Vice President Shankar Nitai, and all the others who helped in so many ways. Kirtan Ishwar has been a steady pujari from the very beginning, and that's not easy to do, to never miss, to always be on time and do that pujari work. That's special mercy. He's developed a lot of love for Radha Govinda by that. And we've cultivated now Tapasvini, so many kirtan leaders, and such nice Sunday feast by Sridham Gopal, and on and on and on. I don't know, it's dangerous to start naming a few because you can't remember everybody. Somebody might feel left out, but I think everybody who ever even visited the temple, anyone who ever took a book, and as far as the roots, the basis, we have superheroes like Gita Govinda, Radhika Raman, even distributing so many books. Nitai never giving up on book distribution. And we had many devotees in the beginning, distributing so many books and making Krishna very well known all over the country. Then Krishna sent the Indians who have the desire and the funding to actually make a big temple. And now we want everyone to think about, we need a much bigger temple with ashrams and land and everything. And we have to think about, Krishna, please, help us get ourselves so sincere and so organized that we can do that. Krishna can give, Prabhupada said he can give you the whole world, but he won't give it because he knows we get bewildered if we got too much. Jai, Shri Radha Govinda ki jai, Tokyo Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanadi, Hari Hari Bol.